Planes para el futuro are plans for the future. Nice and easy. And tienes means you have or do you have. So how do you say, do you have plans for the future? Tienes planes para el futuro. Voy a means I'm going to. So maybe your plans are you're going to visit your friend and you say, I'm going to visit my friend. Voy a visitar a mi amigo Juan. Or I'm going to go out. And to go out is salir, like sally forth. So voy a salir esta noche, tonight. How do you say I'm going to visit my friend Juan? Voy a visitar a mi amigo Juan. And that little a is important. Voy a visitar a mi amigo Juan. How do you say I'm going to go out tonight? Voy a salir esta noche. However, when we're saying tienes planes para el futuro, it's less about visiting your friends and going out tonight, and maybe something more like whether you're going to get married or not. To say I want to get married, you use the verb quiero, which means I want. Quiero. And then to get married, when it's I want to get married, is casarme. So how do you say I want to get married? Quiero casarme. Quiero casarme. If you don't want to get married, you just put no before the quiero. So how do you say I don't want to get married? No quiero casarme. To be is estar. So can you guess what estar con una persona means? Estar con una persona means to be with a person. So how would you say I want to be with a person? Can you remember the word for I want? Quiero estar con una persona. Quiero estar con una persona. How do you say I want to get married? Quiero casarme. How do you say I want to be with a person? Quiero estar con una persona. And you can put them both together with the word porque, which means because. So how do you say I want to get married because I want to be with a person? Quiero casarme porque quiero estar con una persona. To say I don't want to get married, you just put no in front and it's a short no. So I don't want to get married. Can you say that? No quiero casarme. It's that simple. No quiero casarme. To get married more generally, not just me, is casarse. So casarme, when I'm getting married, quiero casarme, and casarse, to get married, generally speaking. Casarse. Now the word for expensive is caro. And then too, as in T-O-O, too much, is demasiado, demasiado. So how do you say too expensive? Demasiado caro. To get married is casarse, and the word for is es. How do you say to get married is too expensive? Casarse es demasiado caro. Do you remember the word for because? ¿Por qué? So how do you say, I don't want to get married because to get married is too expensive? No quiero casarme porque casarse es demasiado caro. Now, listen to this text about el matrimonio. El matrimonio is marriage. En mi opinión, el matrimonio es malo. Malo means bad. So, in my opinion, marriage is bad. En mi opinión, el matrimonio es malo. Mucha gente means a lot of people. Mucha gente se casa. A lot of people get married. Mucha gente se casa y los esposos, the spouses, tienen una mala relación. They have a bad relationship. Mucha gente se casa y los esposos tienen una mala relación. No sé means I don't know. No sé por qué la gente se casa. I don't know why people get married. No sé por qué la gente se casa. It's boring is es aburrido. My friends, mis amigos, opinan, they think, de modo distinto. They have a different opinion. Mis amigos opinan de modo distinto. Now, let's try some of that vocabulary. What does el matrimonio mean? El matrimonio is marriage. What is aburrido? Aburrido means boring. How do you say marriage is bad? El matrimonio es malo. How do you say it is boring? Es aburrido. What does mucha gente mean? Mucha gente means a lot of people. And what about los esposos? Los esposos are spouses, husbands and wives. Los esposos. Now, what does se casa mean? Se casa means get married. So how do you say a lot of people get married? Mucha gente se casa. How do you say I don't know? I don't know is no sé. So it's spelt like nose, like our word nose in the middle of your face, but it's two words and it means I don't know and it sounds like no sé. And how about the word why? The word why has the same sound as the word because. The word why is por qué. So how do you say I don't know why? No sé por qué. Okay? Now, how do you say, I don't know why people get married, when people is la gente? How do you say, I don't know why people get married? No sé por qué la gente se casa. Okay? And finally, what does tienen mean? Tienen means they have. And a bad relationship is una mala relación. So how do you say the spouses have a bad relationship? Los esposos tienen una mala relación. Next paragraph. Por ejemplo means for example. Por ejemplo, Ramón dice que va a casarse. Ramón says he's going to get married. Ramón dice que va a casarse a los 20 años. At the age of 20. At the 20 years, literally. A los 20 años. Va a casarse, he's going to get married, con una mujer, with a woman. So una mujer is a woman and con is with. Va a casarse con una mujer rica, and that means rich. So he's going to get married to a rich woman. Va a casarse con una mujer rica. Esta es su ambición. That's his ambition. Esta es su ambición. En mi opinión, esto es estúpido. In my opinion, that's stupid. What does dice mean? Dice comes from the verb to say, which is decir, and dice means he says or she says. So Ramón dice, Ramón says. What does casarse mean? Casarse is to get married. What about una mujer? Una mujer is a woman. Now, how do you say Ramón says he's going to get married? And going to is va a. Ramón says he's going to get married. Ramón dice que va a casarse. And you can change that for any name you like. Por ejemplo is for example. Por ejemplo, Anya dice que va a casarse. Por ejemplo, Joey dice que va a casarse. Por ejemplo, Phoebe dice que va a casarse. Okay. The word for rich is rica. So how do you say a rich woman? A rich woman is una mujer rica. Now, how do you say he's going to get married with, which is con, a rich woman? He's going to get married with a rich woman. Va a casarse con una mujer rica. And what does 20 mean? 20 means 20. So, a los 20 años means at the age of 20. How do you say that is stupid? Esto es estúpido. So how do you say, in my opinion, That's stupid. En mi opinión, esto es estúpido. Okay, last paragraph. Ángela está en contra del matrimonio. Angela's against marriage. Dice que las bodas, weddings, dice que las bodas son muy caras, are very expensive. So she says weddings are very expensive. Dice que las bodas son muy caras. Es mejor, it's better, es mejor gastar, to spend, es mejor gastar el dinero, the money, es mejor gastar el dinero en unas vacaciones, on holidays. So it's better to spend the money on holidays. Es mejor gastar el dinero en unas vacaciones. Tener hijos means have children. No va a tener hijos. So she's not going to have children. No va a tener hijos. Prefiere vivir sola. She prefers to live alone. Prefiere vivir sola. En mi opinión, vivir solo también es aburrido. So in my opinion, living on your own is also boring. En mi opinión, vivir solo también es aburrido. Es más interesante vivir con alguien. It's more interesting to live with someone, pero no casarse, but not get married. Es más interesante vivir con alguien, pero no casarse. Okay. How do you say against? En contra. And what does matrimonio mean? Matrimonio is marriage. So how do you say against marriage? En contra del matrimonio. What does bodas mean? Bodas are weddings, bodas. And what does caras mean? Caras is expensive. So how do you say the weddings, las bodas, are very expensive? And you'll need are very, which is son muy. Weddings are very expensive. Las bodas son muy caras. Now, she says that is dice que. So how do you say she says that weddings are very expensive? Dice que las bodas son muy caras. What does gastar mean? Gastar means to spend. So, what does es mejor mean? Es mejor means it's better. What does el dinero mean? El dinero is the money. What does va a tener hijos mean? Va a tener hijos means she's going to have children. So how do you say she's not going to have children. No va a tener hijos. And if you want to change that and make it, I'm not going to have children, you say, no voy a tener hijos. Now, how do you say it's better to spend the money on holidays or on some holidays? Es mejor gastar el dinero en unas vacaciones. How do you say boring? Aburrido. And what does casarse mean? Casarse means to get married. What does también mean? También means also, as well, or too. So how do you say, it is also boring? Use también first and then es. It's also boring. También es aburrido. How do you say, get married? Get married is casarse. And what does vivir con alguien mean? Vivir con alguien is to live with somebody. So how do you say it's more interesting to live with somebody? Es más interesante vivir con alguien. What does pero no mean? Pero no means but not. So how do you say it's more interesting to live with somebody but not get married? Remember, live is vivir. It's more interesting to live with somebody but not get married. Es más interesante vivir con alguien pero no casarse. What does vivir solo mean? It means to live alone. So how do you say live alone is also boring? To live alone is also boring. Vivir solo también es aburrido. Okay, now listen to the whole passage and see how much you can understand. En mi opinión, el matrimonio es malo. Mucha gente se casa y los esposos tienen una mala relación. No sé por qué la gente se casa. Es aburrido. Mis amigos opinan de modo distinto. Por ejemplo, Ramón dice que va a casarse a los 20 años. Va a casarse con una mujer rica. Esta es su ambición. En mi opinión, esto es estúpido. Ángela está en contra del matrimonio. Dice que las bodas son muy caras. Es mejor gastar el dinero en unas vacaciones. No va a tener hijos. Prefiere vivir sola. En mi opinión, vivir solo también es aburrido. Es más interesante vivir con alguien, pero no casarse. I hope you understood most of that, and I hope that you can answer if you're asked, ¿Tienes planes para el futuro? And you might be able to say, Sí, quiero casarme, or No, no quiero casarme, and expand your answer quite a lot with the Español that you've just heard. I recommend that you listen to this a few times until you can answer all of the questions in it quite easily. Gracias y adiós.